Hello and welcome to the Money Rebel podcast. This is your host, Hayley David, and it is my mission to help you be your own boss, rebel against your 9-to-5, and build a successful business that you actually love. In my world, I believe that business gets to be fun, easy, and profitable AF. This podcast is your go-to guide to help you start and build a business that will pave the way for your dream life. Join me every week as I chat about marketing tips, business strategy, industry trends, and life as an entrepreneur. So if you're ready to play by your own rules, attract more dream clients, and build your business to 6 figures and beyond, grab a drink and let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Rebel podcast. This is your host, Hayley David. And today, as you can probably tell by the title of this episode, I'm talking about a very spicy topic. And this is really just a rant from the heart on why I believe there's more to sales than just posting on social media. So let me know if this sounds like you. If you're posting, you're doing air quotes, all the things that the Instagram gurus tell you, but it's still not bringing in clients. Like this episode is for you. With love from me to you directly, because I see so many incredible business owners and incredible service providers who are literally top shelf at what they do, who are so frustrated and disappointed because they're posting, but they're not getting clients. And because of that, they think something is wrong with them, or no one wants their offer, or it's not good enough. And they go into a mindset spiral when really, per the title of this episode, there's just more to sales than posting on social media. So tune in. Like I said, this episode is for you. And I want to just reiterate, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. My belief that there's more to sales than posting on social media is a hill I will die on. I talk about this all the time to my clients, to anyone inside of my courses or programs, friends, family, anyone who has a business, anyone who will listen. This is a hill I will die on. And all of the social media gurus, they tell you to post and they focus on telling you that's all you should do. And, they tell you that this is what attraction marketing is all about. Just post and all the clients will flock to you, which is far from the truth. So, truth bomb, posting to social media is not the key to a successful business. You really need to think bigger. And it's why I have a problem with a lot of the strategies that some of these social media coaches teach, because they really don't know what it takes to make sales outside of Instagram and making people feel that if they're not making sales on Instagram, something's wrong with them. So I digress. Like I said, I usually have notes because I just can go off on tangents about this for hours. So I think a lot of people kind of do this post and pray strategy when it comes to getting clients and making sales, because they have no idea how sales actually works or what they need to do or what needs to happen in order for them to get sales. And I think just a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners make sales harder than it really is. Part of that is because my belief is that sales is a process. And I truly believe one of the biggest reasons people struggle with sales is because they don't view it as a process. They view it as one single step. And really, viewing sales as a process is at the core of my sales framework that I teach inside of Money Rebel to all of my clients and inside of my courses. And it's my methodology of how I've been able to have the success in every single one of the businesses I've ever started. So where I see a lot of business owners go wrong is, like I said, they don't understand that sales is a process that has many steps to it. Posting on Instagram is certainly one step if that's part of your marketing strategy, but it's not enough to actually solve all your problems. Like writing a post and actually posting it to Instagram or Facebook does not equal sales. Will it maybe bring people into your world? Will someone maybe read it and then DM you or reach out, or maybe read the post and go to your bio and join your program? Possibly. But post doesn't equal sales. Posting doesn't equal having a successful business, and making money on Instagram does not equal having a successful business. So I hope you're starting to see why posting on social media and only focusing on that isn't necessarily helping you make sales. So like I said, posting on Instagram is one step, but it's not enough to actually solve all of your sales problems and challenges. So I think a lot of people post on Instagram because it feels like the path of least resistance. So I understand it's easier to post and pray that the client attraction gods will deliver clients to you. I totally understand that it's easier to do that than it might be to address your mindset and beliefs and fears around sales. Because, of course, it's easier to throw up a post and blame no one reaching out to you because the post wasn't good enough or you didn't say the right things instead of looking at how you view sales and your beliefs about sales and your fears around them and on all the things. So personally, I think that is where a lot of entrepreneurs get tripped up is because it's a little bit more challenging and it feels more challenging to take a look at those deeper things than just do a surface level post. And again, it's totally understandable why you would feel more comfortable posting on social media and not trying to sell and not trying to improve your sales skills and take a deeper look at that. And, most people I work with care deeply about what they do and they have a very strong mission to help other people. And they don't ever want to come across as a car salesman or make people feel gross. And so if this is you, a perspective shift I would like to offer is that if you set the intention going into learning sales and your sales process that you are going to do it in an ethical way, you're already doing a great job. You're already ahead of so many people. So if you keep ethical sales at the forefront of this, you're already winning. Okay. And so again, over here in the Money Rebel world, we do ethical sales. We don't do pushy, sleazy, or forceful anything. And if you feel like you hear the word sales and you instantly think of a pushy person who's like convincing people to buy something or forcing people, just because someone else does sales like that doesn't mean you have to. And it's why learning sales from someone who focuses on ethical sales is so important. And so, again, I also want to encourage you to start looking at sales as a process and understand that you posting is just one very small part of it, but there are other pieces that you need to have in place when it comes to sales in your business and getting clients. So I am so excited to tell you about this and just give you a little sneak peek. I have spent the past like 3.5, 4 months developing this group program that will be centered all around sales and really helping you understand the art of sales and how to craft your own unique process for your business. And like this sales program is unlike any other program out there. And like I said, I have done hours and hours and hours doing market research interviews and building curriculum to really make sure this program is going to help you change the way you think and feel about sales and really remove the confusion you have around it. And it is going to teach you my signature framework for sales. And not only that, but it's going to teach you the entire sales process. And we are going to do it together. So, again, a lot of people buy a sales course where it's just teaching them tips and strategies, but it's not enough because you're not getting the whole big picture. Because it's not enough to just learn sales tips and buyer psychology and strategies. You need the whole big picture and you need to understand the whole process. And that is why I am focusing this program entirely around my framework for teaching sales, which shows you what the sales process actually is. That has worked for me for over 7 years. And this program is so good, you guys. I'm only going to give you guys a sneak peek. It's going to be just so epic and so supportive. There's going to be the education piece. You will learn my signature sales process for getting clients and making sales. But in addition to the education piece, we are going to do live workshopping and coaching. So if there's a belief that needs to be worked through, we're going to work through that. And, you're going to get time to practice and implement the stuff that you'll learn. And it's really collaborative. So you are not going to leave a call feeling so confused or wondering, oh my gosh, how do I implement this now? That is what I'm here for. So, anyways, you guys stay on the lookout for more information about that program. It's going to launch at the end of March / first couple weeks in April. So again, follow me on Instagram at The Money Rebel for more information about that or send me a DM and we can chat a little bit about it. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you so much for your support, and now back to the show. Back to the topic of there's more to sales than just posting on social media. One big disclaimer I want to add is that I'm not saying to not post. Like, if posting is a strategic part of your marketing strategy, then you need to post. It's just not the only thing you need to be doing. There's more things you need to understand, learn, and be doing in order to make sales, get clients, and have a sustainable, legitimate business. And I think where a lot of people get frustrated with social media too is that they spend time posting on social media, but then they spend time scrolling and comparing themselves to other people or not connecting, and they're just scrolling and scrolling and consuming. And then at the end of it, they're in this mindset spiral and they're just so frustrated. And so I just think people are using Instagram or social media in the wrong way. And so again, I don't have a problem with posting. I just have a problem with people only putting up a post and that's all they're doing to try to build a business and make sales and get clients. So I think, especially with social media, again, keyword social, building relationships with people is one of the best sales skills that you can have, like, period. And so instead of just throwing up a post and leaving the app, try to spend some time engaging with other people, again, without the sole intention of just getting them to be your client or work with you. And, I think a lot of Instagram coaches, maybe you've taken a course from them or something, and they teach you all these icky, weird, gross, like, strategies of commenting back to people's stories only to get them to start a conversation with you, only so you can sell them. And, like, of course that's going to feel gross. Like, I don't believe in that. I'm not ever responding to anyone's stories with the sole hope and goal that they become my client or buy my shit. Like, I am building relationships with people. And so again, whatever it is you don't like about sales, don't do that. Like, I want to encourage you, don't don't do it. And that's just one thing I believe that can really help you just feel more confident in how you're using social media to get sales is to actually just, like, start to get to know people beyond just, like I said, them maybe becoming a client someday, and not just, like, looking at people with dollar signs in their eyes. And if you're listening to this, I know you don't want to do that. And I could talk for hours about this. And so I'm trying to keep this concise and to the point. So here's the thing. This belief that I have that there's more to sales than just posting on social media is part of a bigger belief inside of my business that I have and inside of Money Rebel. And it's, like, kind of tough love, but it needs to be said. But it's really that, like, making money on social media doesn't mean you have a real business. Like, yes, it's great. I love that you're making money on Instagram, but it's not the same thing as having a real business. And so I want to ask you, like, do you have a social media business or do you have a real business? Like, are you treating it like a hobby? And again, this is not to shame you at all. It's just, I'm asking these questions to hopefully open up your perspective to see where some things can be improved or changed, and to just help you not only be a social media business. Like, I want to help you have a real sustainable business that is legitimate and here for as long as you want it to be. And so, again, like I said, making money on Instagram or Facebook is not the same thing as having a legitimate business. A legitimate business has structure and intention behind it. So, thinking about this from a sales standpoint, it's so important to be intentional with how social media posting fits into your overall business strategy, which is, again, why just throwing up a post and that's all you're doing is not going to work. There's nothing wrong with using social media for your business. I use it for my business. I just have never relied on it. I've never needed to rely on it to grow my business because outside of Instagram, I have structure. I have strategies, I have things in place, I have marketing channels built, I have a very clear vision of where the business is going. I know exactly what the business needs to do to make money. I know exactly what our sales process is, our sales funnels, our marketing strategies. My business is not an Instagram business, and I don't want yours to be either. I want you to think bigger and go beyond the box of social media. I want you to listen to this and start to look at some areas that you want to improve when it comes to sales and getting clients. And again, I want to encourage you to not do this like in a shameful way to yourself or that you're doing things wrong or you're bad or anything like that, because that's not the case at all. I just want this to start to open up your mind to see and ask yourself, like, okay, what are some areas that I want to improve when it comes to sales and getting clients? And so, some questions I'm going to ask you to help you figure that out are, if someone were to reach out to you from a post, do you even know what you would do and how to communicate with that person to start a sales conversation? Do you know where you're sending people that might be reaching out to you from your post? What makes someone a good fit for your offer or services? How many conversations are you having with people? And how are you bringing leads and potential clients into your world? What needs to happen in order for them to go from stranger to potential client to paying client? So these are just some questions to start to think about. And why I have this perspective of there's more to business and sales than social media is because I have been an entrepreneur for almost 7 years now. And I built a six-figure business, my very first one in college. I built a six-figure business. I didn't rely on social media at all. I didn't have to. We had a Facebook, but we didn't have to rely on that. And now with Money Rebel, I don't rely on it for my online business. And a lot of people think, well, in an online business, you have to have a lot of social media followers and you have to be on social media if you have an online business. And again, I want to challenge you a little and say there's so many online business owners that do not have social medias that are very successful. So, again, I have this perspective because with all the businesses I've built, I have never had to rely on social media. And, I think coming from the local space, I have a very unique perspective that isn't commonly seen in the online space with business coaches and mentors. I think there are so many things that both industries can learn from each other. Having had several businesses in the local space and now owning an online business, my knowledge about business and my expertise isn't limited to just one industry. I live and breathe business and I know what it takes to build a successful business and make sales and get clients, regardless of whatever industry you're in. And I think there's so many things that both industries can learn from each other. For example, for online businesses, I think one really great thing you can learn from the local space is how they do sales and part of what their sales process is. They don't have to spend hours giving away free content and hosting mini trainings and posting every day to get clients. Do you need to showcase your expertise in content? Of course you do, but a lot of Instagram gurus and coaches tell you, that you need to do mini trainings to prove to your audience that you know what you're talking about and give them free stuff in order for them to buy from you. And I think that teaching business owners that is so toxic and dangerous because, again, like, imagine doing that to a locally based business. Could you imagine going into a restaurant and saying, yeah, like, I want some free French fries to see how good your stuff is, and then maybe I'll buy an entree. You don't do that. They don't have to spend hours giving away free content and proving to their potential clients that they know what they're doing. And usually this is because they have a website that is working for them and driving SEO traffic to them. They also are using the power of review. So again, yes, are they showcasing that they know what they're doing and their expertise and how good their services are? Of course they are. They're doing that through reviews and their website and having a presence not only on Instagram that is bringing people into their world and driving traffic to them that doesn't require them to spend time doing it. Their website works for them. And so, yes, I do strongly believe that having a website or something that is pulling SEO traffic in for you without your time commitment to do it every single time is going to be so helpful for you to bring people into your world. So, as an expert at service-based sales, I don't have to show up on social media to make sales. If you go to my Instagram, I think I posted to my feed maybe 4 times since August. I don't know. Yet, I still have a fully booked out one-on-one coaching practice. My one-on-one coaching has been sold out since February of last year. I still make consistent monthly revenue and I don't have huge income dips in the business. And I'm still connecting with people. Often I have people reaching out to me and I don't have to rely on Instagram for that or Facebook for that. And, there's several reasons why that is. But just to name a few, I have spent over 7 years becoming an expert at business and 7 years to learn and master the art of service based sales. And so if you're on year one or 6 months in or year two, again, be kind to yourself and be gentle. Like, I love sales. It's easy for me because I've been doing it for almost a decade. And think if you take the time to really learn and understand that sales is a process and, take the time to go through and develop that process for your business and educate yourself on some of these skills, imagine how different you're going to feel about sales even in a couple months, let alone 5, 6 years from now. So if you're just getting started, give yourself a little love because you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Another reason why I don't have to rely on social media to make sales is because I do view sales as a process and not a one-step thing. I've been able to do all of this because of my signature sales framework and my almost decade's worth of experience as a serial entrepreneur. At Money Rebel, we're all about breaking the rules, and that is what I'm about. I want to show you you do not have to follow industry standards for anything, for marketing, for sales, for growing a business. I want you to create the rules for your life and business. And that is why I teach my clients how to create these innovative marketing business strategies for their business so that they can grow and get clients while building a sustainable business they love. And, truly with this in mind, we go beyond just social media or your location or whatever it is that's limiting you. We go beyond that to build a legitimate business that will be around for the long haul. And this is why I fundamentally believe that there's more to business and sales than just posting on social media. I know this is a lot to take in and some perspective shifts I can offer if right now you do find yourself just posting to social media and you're not really sure what to do or how to change it. Again, just by listening to this episode, you're taking the first step because you don't know what you don't know. And so you need to first figure out, like I said earlier in this episode, what are the areas that you want to improve, or what are the skills you need to learn in order to elevate your sales and elevate your marketing and to really feel like you have a structured business that doesn't just feel like a hobby. And I want to encourage you to figure out what gaps you have around sales right now. Do you struggle with even having anyone to sell to? Do you struggle with what to say to them or how to talk about your services or your offer? Do you struggle with knowing how to actually close clients and convert them from potential into paying? Do you know what needs to happen in your business to make sales? Some of these questions will help you figure out your gaps. And the sales group coaching program that I created that's launching at the beginning of April, I created that offer because business owners make sales way harder than it has to be. And because most people really aren't teaching sales properly and they're only teaching sales as it relates to Instagram. And I really do believe that like Instagram business coaches, a lot of them don't know what it takes to grow a business outside of social media. And that's why I wanted to make a course that removed the mystery around sales and helped business owners see that the reason it's hard is because they aren't focusing on the entire process. And so some of those questions I just asked you to help you figure out what your gaps are, those all address different areas in the process. And if you find yourself noticing that you have at least one or more gaps, I really encourage you to keep a lookout for the sales group coaching program that I'm launching because I help you with all of those things and more inside of that program. And like I said, I'll release more details as we get closer. I know I covered a lot of ground in this episode, and I really encourage you to either tag me in Instagram stories if you're listening to this or DM me. I really want to know your thoughts about this episode. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear your feedback and just some other perspective shifts. Again, I am not against using Instagram in your business at all. I think it's really helpful to know the intention behind it and therefore the time you're spending on the app to be used in an intentional way. I see a lot of business owners, and I'm guilty of this myself, is, we post and we do the things we need to do for our lead generation and for our sales and for our marketing, but we spend more time scrolling and consuming content. And the more we consume content, the more overwhelmed we get and like the further away we are from like our original ideas and our voice and what we want to say. And so I just really want to encourage you to analyze how you're using social media and do the things you need to do on there to grow your business and to connect with people, and then get off of there. And then go listen to a podcast like you're doing now, or go watch a video, or go invest in a program, or go do something to start building a structure and a stronger foundation for your business, and just start taking those hours that you spend scrolling and spend them somewhere else that's going to help you. If you can't afford to invest in like a paid coaching program right now, or a paid course or whatever, there are so many free resources out there for you. Example, like this podcast. And what if the time you spent scrolling on Instagram, you spent listening to this episode and implementing what I talked about, or someone else's podcast and implemented what they talked about? And then when you're done with that, you went and did something to enjoy yourself and enjoy your life, like get out in nature or something else. And, I love social media. I love being able to connect with people on social media. So it's not a bad thing. I just think that the way it's used can be really toxic to some business owners. And a question I want to ask you is like, are you spending all your time scrolling and maybe doom scrolling instead of taking time to, do some of those things in your business that need to be done? Like market research so you can understand your ideal clients better, offer development, analyzing your competition, building a website, having a Google My Business listing, some of these things that you can do that have nothing to do with social media. Another perspective shift I'd like to offer is to use social media for more than just posting. Don't just drop your post and then doom scroll for hours. Again, we've all been there and done that. Like I am guilty of this too, which is why I preach so adamantly about it, because I know better and I still do it. So again, don't get down on yourself if you do it. We're all there. I just really want to encourage you, like I said, to just think bigger and to think beyond the realm of social media and use it for more than just posting. Do market research on there. There's so much you can do to use social media for your benefit. Like I said, market research is a huge one that will help you in every area of your business, and just using social media for more than just posting. And the result of doing that will be helping you with sales, because the more market research you do and the better you understand your ideal client, the better your sales will be, because you'll be able to speak to them and know in a deeper way what they're struggling with. Again, connect with people. If you're going to post, talk about the benefits of working with you, and talk about what life is like after someone does hire you, or how you make their life easier. Maybe you, instead of scrolling and just constantly consuming, what if you found some other business owners who, were complementary to your business that you could do a live with, or be a podcast host to do visibility to bring new people in? There's so many ways that you can use social media, and then to take some of that information and go beyond the app itself. I would just say my biggest takeaway is to just start thinking bigger. Think outside of social media. Don't limit yourself and put yourself in the social media box. The other takeaway is to just really start to see what gaps you have when it comes to sales, what are some areas for improvement, and just start to monitor how you're using your time on social media and spend more time off the app. Like I said, I'm a big advocate for just getting off the app. And if the solution isn't to spend more time on Instagram, you might be wondering, like, well, what's the solution then? And it really is to find things that will move the needle, or that will teach you a skill that you need to build your business to the point you want it to be. And if you don't want to be at the mercy of social media and having to constantly post and engage and be on there, and if you don't like that, again, this episode is for you. And I really want you to take what I said to heart. One very last perspective shift I want to offer is, right now, if you struggle with your mindset around sales, that it's icky or gross, so that it's like convincing, I want to encourage you to reframe that and shift from that belief into starting to think about sales as just a way for you to help someone decide if your service or program or offer is the right fit for them. There's a lot to digest with this. I'm really interested to know your feedback. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy this episode, you can help support the podcast by making sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review. Thank you so much, my Money Rebel family, for supporting the show, and tune in next week for another episode.